Hello, everyone. This is Minister William, or Reverend Will if you wish, and this is the sermon for April 2nd, 2023. And as always, we'll start with a moment of silence for prayer, meditation, or what have you. All right, thank you. Today's sermon is from the ULC website. It is called Good Samaritan Gone Wrong. It is from something that happened in 2019, so it's quite an old story. Um, right. Religious teachings often press us to help those in need if we are able to do so. The Bible famously includes a parable dictated to this very idea. But what happens when assuming the role of Good Samaritan goes terribly wrong? That's the position of Indiana school superintendent has landed in after helping a sick student to receive medical treatment. It all started when Casey Smitherman, the superintendent of Elwood Community School Corporation, noticed that a certain 15-year-old student had not been to school for a few days. She decided to drop by his house and quickly realized he was quite ill and showing signs of strep throat. Concerned for the student's well-being, Smitherman drove him to the hospital so he could see a doctor. Smitherman knew the student well, having previously helped him buy new clothes and other basic items, and understood that he didn't have insurance to cover medical costs. That's when she decided to put down her own son's name and insurance information so the student could receive the medical attention he needed. Caught in the act. Local police later received a tip and decided to investigate the incident. When pressed, Smitherman freely admitted that she had given false information to the pharmacy in order to help the student and turned herself in. It's a misstep she may end up paying dearly for. Smitherman is now being charged with numerous crimes including insurance fraud, official misconduct, and identity deception. Although it's possible she'll get off with a fine and some community service, it's still a steep price to pay for the crime of helping another human being in distress. Was it immoral? How could we judge the situation? On one hand, it's unethical to lie and impersonate someone else, especially when dealing with medical issues and insurance. But what are the moral implications of allowing a sick child to suffer? With a good Samaritan dutifully follow the law, would a good Samaritan dutifully follow the law, sticking the child with expensive bills? Or would they instead decide to break the law, especially one in which the only victim is a large insurance company? Is worth it to ease the suffering of the child? Casey Smitherman chose the latter path, and now will face the consequences. What would you do in her situation? Personally, I haven't read on the story, so I have no idea what happened to her since that in the past 4 or so years. But personally, I think what she did was good. She risked her own freedom to make sure this child got one of her students got the care he needed. Strep throat can easily turn to scarlet fever, which then can kill you. It happened to me when I was a kid. I had strep throat. I didn't tell my family that my throat hurt. By the time they found out, it was turning to scarlet fever. And if it went on, it would have killed me. But yeah. So this teacher, the superintendent, for the most part, saved a student's life. If he wasn't going to the doctor because he couldn't afford it, he could have the strep throat could have easily turned to scarlet fever, and he could have passed away. I think the consequences that she might have suffered and or is suffering at this moment was worth it for helping somebody. Do I think would have done it twice if she had the chance? She probably would have. Good people will always do good things, even if the law is not on their side. So sometimes you need to break a law to uh, do what's right. I'm not saying like rob a bank, steal from people, or kill somebody. Not those. Those are always bad, regardless of the reason. Uh, well, unless for self-defense. But what she did was to help somebody, even if the law said it was wrong. But I will be looking it up. The week I'll try to find information on it, and I will probably post it in the bottom uh, comment section or on the Facebook page. But and if I as soon as I hear, and if I don't find anything, I guess I won't. But yeah, remember, when we all come together, the possibilities are endless. And thank you for joining us. I'll see you next week.